That would have been a good one for the box fart competition. Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games
and
board gamey things.
Exactly. We're back again today with another pumped up Kickstarter. Today's preview video is going to be on Ada's Dream, and this is from, boom, Alley Cat Games. Guess what? She's a prototype.
Smart.
That's why she's Nikki on the back.
Smart.
It's a kit. Little
What?
kitty cat. A kit. It's a kit. So, today's video is sponsored by Alley Cat Games, so shout out to them, and we are going to be talking about Ada's Dream, which is coming to Kickstarter, okay? Now, as per usual with our preview videos, we are going to give you a little overview, and then we're going to jump into a discussion to help you figure out whether or not this game is for you. That's what you're here for. You want to know these things.
That's how we do.
So, without further ado, let's jump into the overview. Rhymes. Alrighty, we are back. Let's chat a little bit about Ada's Dream. So, Ada's Dream is based off of Ada Lovelace, okay? And we're helping her to build the first computer. This is a very like science-y themed kind of game. It's based on almost like an alternate history, but in the game you are kind of taking on the role as Ada, and there's a bunch of different characters in this game that would be found in her life throughout history, okay? So this game it's a big one, and I'm not going to go into every little detail about every little thing, okay, because that would take us so long. So, in Ada's Dream, you are going to be on your turn doing one of two things. You're either going to be taking a dice action, or you're going to be taking a workshop action. You may not take a dice action unless you have dice. So to start the game, we're going to the workshop.
That makes sense.
Okay, makes sense. So basically, in your workshop action phase, there is this little kind of like circle, and it's filled with these little pockets of dice.
Yes.
Okay? And it's a really interesting mechanism where you, if you want to take one of the dice and the action from that dice's space, you need to be able to move a dice from a previous spot up one, pushing out that die that has an equal or lesser value.
Yes.
Okay, when you do that in the workshop, you're then going to get to take that special action, and then you get to take that die and put it into your own little workshop board area. That is then later how you're able to take a dice action, okay? So that's basically the workshop action. Then you can choose to play out a card from your hand. So you're going to have a hand of different people cards that you can play out. Most of them are going to require you to have selected a specific number die, or some you're going to have to pay for, and then they're going to be allowing you to manipulate a bunch of things, maybe going up research tracks, maybe they're going to be allowing you to gain some innovation, or doing a bunch of different things. They're there to help support you, okay? Alternately as well, if you have any assignments out, because Ada's giving you assignments, because she's the boss, right? She's giving you assignments, so if you have any assignments out, then you get to move up the research tracks, which are also going to trigger different things. Then you can take a bonus action, which is either publishing a book, which, believe it or not, is going to allow you to do certain things in different areas of the board based on what color die you've taken. Or you can construct a gear. Now, I'll talk about gears in a minute, but just know that they're very important. Okay? Yes. That's workshop. The other type of action you can take is a dice action. And like I said, we're going to be putting die. We can hold up to 3 in our little workshop. On a dice action, you take one of those die, and you're going to put it into your little workshop, which you are trying to build out, because that is how you're going to be scoring your points at the end of the game. Okay, so let's just say I had a blue die. I'm going to put it onto my board, and then I am going to get to trigger the blue section of the board, which is travel, and there are 4 sections. They're all going to do different things. This is a very, very thematic Kanban-y style game where everything that you're doing is just going to make sense to the overall goal of what you're doing. It's an engine
builder where you're actually building an engine.
Exactly. So you're going to do the die, you're going to do whatever that section of the board says. I'll just do blue as an example, but I won't go into everything else. The blue section of the board is the travel section where you're actually going to be moving your meeple along, going to different universities, gaining some knowledge and resources and all of that stuff, okay? Yep. Everything thematic to her life. So there's travel, there's meetings that you have to go to, there's a bunch of different things. So
there's the actual engine.
Yes, that's what you're working on exactly in that dice section. Most of the areas, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be putting out little discs from your player board out onto the board, which once again is going to be giving you points for the end of the game. But what those discs are doing is they're freeing up space for those gears that I was talking about, which is one of the most important parts of this game, because you're trying to fill out your board with those die, but you're building out equations, because this is science, okay? And at the end of the game, you're not going to be able to score points unless you have die in the row, but you're building on an equation. So the gears are giving you a plus sign, a negative sign, or a multiplier.
So it'd be 6 minus 2 plus 3 is your score.
That's going to be your score. And the other thing that you also need to manage in this is steam power, because that's how things used to be powered back in the day.
Back in the day.
So wherever your
BITD.
wherever your little steam marker is, that's going to be the max amount you can score per equation. So you got to also work to fuel your machine. There's different resources. There's coal, there's brass, and then there's money, and that's the resources that you're going to be manipulating in order to do different things. Okay? It's a lot. However, everything you do makes sense, which is, we've coined the term Kanban-y.
We have coined the term Kanban-y.
So if you've heard us say that before, that's what it is. I know that I need to publish this book in order to get this thing, because I am researching in this area. I need to go to the universities. We need to have meetings. We need to do all of these things. And you're just powering your own little engine. Okay, the game is going to end when somebody has completely filled out their board. And then you're going to calculate points, and whoever has the most points wins. Believe it or not. Crazy theory, I know.
So just FYI too, this is the first game in Alley Cat's Great Thinkers. Yeah, in Alley Cat's Great Thinkers trilogy, which is going to be an advanced line of games from Alley Cat Games.
Yes.
So this is the first one in that trilogy of games based around Ada Lovelace. Based around Ada Lovelace.
Not Loveless.
Not love less. Love more.
Always.
Not less.
With all of that being said, who is this game for? This game is for somebody who enjoys crunch. Okay, this has a very wide decision space. You need to be able to think a few steps ahead. You need to be able to manage multiple things like resources and your board with equations and the players in your hand. And that's one thing I actually didn't mention. So everybody has a deck of 8 cards, and this is kind of like a deck construction game where if you are bringing in new people to your deck, you have to get rid of one from the game completely. So as you're bringing new people in, you're getting rid of other people, so you're also managing that deck of 8.
Yep.
So that is just another layer added onto it because you want to make sure that the players you have in your hand are working towards the engine that you've built.
Yeah, and your starter characters are possibly not as powerful, so there's again a decision space about like playing that card for its ability, because you can also get rid of cards from your discard pile. So it's like I want to be able to utilize these cards at least one time for their action before I then upgrade to discard it.
Exactly. And you need to also decide, like, do you want to spread the love across all 4 sections of the board by gaining all different colored dice, or do you want to focus on a couple of those areas and really kind of jack up your points in meetings and travel or whatever it might be? So there's a lot of decision space. This is definitely a heavier game in terms of strategy. The rule book, well, the prototype rule book is about 30 pages, so if that kind of gives you an idea of like the heaviness level in terms of learning. But if that sounds like something that you're interested in, if you enjoy like just really digging into a heavy game, if you enjoy a Kanban game, this could be for you.
Yeah, if you like where, again, mechanisms match theme, that's our definition of Kanban. It's very procedural in terms of what you're supposed to be doing, so it all makes sense on your turns of like, hey, I need steam to be able to score more, I need an idea to build on, I need a blueprint. All of these things make sense. So if you like that Euro-y kind of procedural play, this is one to check out.
Who it might not be for. If anything that we just said you don't like, it might not be for you.
If you have a tendency to get AP and that bothers you, if you play with people that get AP and that bothers you, this is going to induce AP.
Yes, because there are so many kind of cascading things that could possibly happen on your turn. Each person's turn could take a long time, especially if they have AP. If you're kind of just like moving and grooving, like that's how Jeff and I play. We're just like, I'm gonna do this.
We're always moving and grooving.
We're always moving and grooving. Okay, that's just how we live our lives. But just know that there can be downtime in this game because of all the decisions,
especially at higher player counts.
Exactly.
We have played this at 2.
Yes, and one thing as well, there are very good reference cards that come in this game. So I know that's a question a lot of people ask, but this one does have kind of everything that you need, or at least in the prototype version. I assume they'll include that in the final version, because why wouldn't they?
And there will be a solo variant.
That is correct, yes. So it's 1 to 4 players.
Yep.
Okay. So now, if any of that sounds like something that you might be interested in, as always, we recommend that you check out lots of stuff. So I know that there's been lots of reviews. Board Game Buzz has done a review. Thinker Themer has done a review. So check out all of those different things to see whether or not this is a good fit for you. Do your
research.
Just like Ada Lovelace. Okay. Be like Ada Lovelace. Be Ada.
Make informed buying decisions.
Yep, Ada would have.
Sick of hearing about that yet? Well, you're never going to hear the end of it.
Never going to hear the end of it. But that is everything that we have for you today. If you are interested in Ada's Dream, links below. Check it out. If you're interested in buying other board games, remember this one's Kickstarter, but other board games, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. For us, that is...
Boardroom Game Cafe.
Heck yeah, it is. And if you like what you see...
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye!
Later days.
God damn them all. Whoop. Excuse me. Foster, are we recording? We are. I did it. Juna thinks that we're leaving, but we're not.
You always think that that's the end.
Look at the little...
I love that you know the...
Look at the lowering of the tail.
I love that you know that those words mean it's time to go.
She was winked.
She's sitting with her belly out.
Oh, you got your belly out?
Hi.
You got belly out?